What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Sony and their PlayStation exclusive problem. You know, I know there's a lot of talk on about PlayStation, Xbox. A lot of people bashing Xbox for lack of exclusives, and then you got a lot of people talking about PlayStation in regards to exclusives and how pro or anti-consumer some of the things that they do or their policies are. So that's neither here or there. So today we were kind of just briefed on many new updates that kind of just had Twitter on fire when it comes to PlayStation. First things first is the DualShock and the DualSense. So we all know that PlayStation with their systems has been like wishy-washy when it comes to compatibility and backwards compatibility. And we all seen the PlayStation 5's controller, the new controller, the DualSense. They don't even identify it as a DualShock anymore, but they're calling it a DualSense. Has all this high-tech features. You can give the controller a blowjob. You can tickle it. You can touch it. You can feel ice cubes and bow and arrows and the haptic feedback, whatever. Some of the stuff. It's next gen stuff. So I mean, the controller looks cool. It does cool things. I am not I'm not underrating that controller, but something that we all thought was just common was that the DualShock 4, PlayStation's by far best controller ever, would be compatible with the PS5. And today's PlayStation 5 or PlayStation blog post does confirm that to a certain extent. There is a caveat, and that caveat is that it only works for select PlayStation 4 games. So whatever PlayStation 4 game that is backwards compatible on a PS5, you can use your DualShock 4. You would not be able to use this controller, the Spider-Man themed red DualShock 4. According to PlayStation blog, it won't be working for Spider-Man Miles Morales, the PS5 game, because the games were made to take advantage of the DualSense and not the DualShock 4. Now, I thought this was funny because it was just interesting because here we are, right? All 2017, 2018, you heard the jokes. Xbox got more controllers than they got games. And to be honest, I'm guilty. I have several Xbox controllers. I have two Elites. I have a white one and a black one. I plan on getting an Elite Series V2 with the Series X. And the thing is, it's like, it for a while, it was like, I got it. But it's strange because Microsoft, they've been very, about pro compatibility. They want backwards compatibility. They want forward compatibility. They're so hype on compatibility that their new next gen controller will actually work for the last gen Xbox. It's actually crazy. But their compatibility goes beyond just like Xbox. It does work with your phones and your tablets. If you're using xCloud, it works with your PC. Strange enough, the DualShock 4 will work with xCloud. But the thing is that Xbox users, when we invest into controllers and we spend hundreds of dollars on controllers, and we're able to make our controllers with Design Lab and all that stuff, our controllers are guaranteed to work on our Xbox Series X. No questions asked. Whether we're playing Xbox Series X games, whether we're playing Xbox One games, whether we're playing Xbox 360 games, or if we're playing OG Xbox games. These bad boys, these current gen Xbox One controllers that I got right now will work day one, no questions asked. Will I use them? Probably not. I'm probably going to be using the Series X controller or the Elite Series 2 when I get that. But when I know I have a bunch of other controllers on standby, so if the battery dies, or if I'm going to do like split screen, or if me and my kids are sharing controllers and their battery dies or something like that, I'll just grab another controller, and you don't have to worry about like that. Damn, this is not compatible with it. It's crazy because as an Xbox fan, as an Xbox gamer, I don't have that problem. Now, PlayStation, like I said, I do think the DualShock 4 is their best controller. The DualSense looks cool. It looks fat, heavy. It looks cool looking. But I until I get my hands on a DualSense, I do think the DualShock 4 is their best controller. And I thought it was just a no-brainer. I know their game compatibility might be hit or miss, but I thought by default, I mean, this is their best-selling controller, and the PlayStation 4 is damn near almost their best-selling console. That it would just be like an out-of-a-box thing, and it's just strange. Like, I'm not outraged, I'm not concerned. I just think it's just very strange that it doesn't work. The thing, but me, when it comes to PlayStation, this is the only DualShock I own, so I'm not going to have any problems. But I know there's people who purchased that $200 SCUF controller. They had a PlayStation licensed SCUF controller. PlayStation had like these, like, I think 3 controllers that they did that were like geared towards the like the hardcore guys, and they also added the back button attachment that came out, I think, was it earlier this year or late last year, if I'm not mistaken. And to find out that it's not even going to be really, like, realistically compatible with it. And this, I'm not saying, oh, like, I mean, new controller is fine, we're used to it. I mean, GameCube, you know, I remember GameCube controllers being compatible with the Wii system right out of the box. I remember a lot of people get at me for 360 controllers. I asked for 360 controller compatibility. We never got it. To my knowledge, the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 uses different, like, I think, Wi-Fi signal to read the controllers. I think the 360 was using something really outdated, and the Xbox One was using something more current, so I guess it didn't work. But my thought was, like, well, it's a USB, because they did sell wired Xbox 360 controllers that you could get for like PC and shit. I thought that should have been like a plug and play thing. It never happened. But moving forward, Xbox set that expectation, and PlayStation's have this whole exclusive thing. I don't want to call it a problem, because their fans love exclusive. They love exclusives, and they'll buy something just knowing that it's exclusive. But they have this thing where it's just, sometimes it comes back and bite them in the ass. It's just, even though PlayStation's like undefeated when it comes to anything, because people kiss their ass and do whatever they say and damage control for everything that's done, whether right, wrong, or questionable, they're okay with it. But for me, it's just weird when you got Xbox that just telling you, oh, your games will work out of the box, your controllers will work, headset will work, mouse and keyboard, all work, no questions asked. And then you got PlayStation saying, well, your controller will work on the PS4 games, whichever ones we make backwards compatible. That's about it. But then you have to ask yourself, well, what about the cross-generation games, right? I mean, there's going to be a whole lot of cross-gen games that release on PS4 and PS5. Like, if I play the PlayStation 5 version of Dirt, can you not use the DualShock? If you play the rumored remaster of Spider-Man on PS5, can you not use the DualShock? I mean, is the PlayStation 5 Avengers, can't you use the DualShock, or you have to use the DualSense? It's like, I highly doubt that every PS5 release is going to fully take advantage of the DualSense to the effect where, like, bam, you could have not played this game without the DualSense. That, like, if they do that, then they'll shut me up, like, immediately. But it's just funny, because the optics you got on Xbox, you got this whole thing where it's just like, yeah, you got to think about it. People don't understand is that throughout this generation, we spent a lot of money on controllers. I'm showing you 2 here, and I have 2 Elites, and them things are like $179. And PlayStation just started getting into those crazy SCUF-like controllers that are costing over $150, over $200. And people bought in because obviously PlayStation's the #1 seller. It's a market leader. You got hardcore PlayStation fans, and so they will, get better controllers. And the fact that that controller is going to die with their PS4, it kind of sucks, unless they're planning on playing particular PlayStation 4 games on their PS5. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is this whole Avengers. So Avengers has this partnership, the game that's coming out in September, that the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version will get Spider-Man as a playable character exclusively in early 2021. This was rumored, and I know people were making a big deal about it. Me personally, I am not shocked at this news when you consider, Sony having the movie rights to Spider-Man, and they managed to get the game exclusive and be under the first party umbrella, becoming a big seller on the PlayStation 4. Them having they're having Avenger Easter eggs inside the game. To me, at this point, it was sort of expected, and for Spider-Man to be a playable character exclusive under PlayStation platforms, I'm not surprised. I'm not going to say it's anti-consumer and all that stuff, because I wish games did this more often for multi-plat games to give players more of an incentive to pick it up for a particular platform or for their platform of choice. Soul Calibur was the king at this. I remember Soul Calibur, I think 2, which I think Xbox had Spawn, and Nintendo, the GameCube version had Link, and I think I forgot what PlayStation had. I don't know. They might have had Kratos or the dude from Metal Gear. I forget. But it was interesting. I don't personally mind. It only sucks when the other platform holders don't participate. So if Xbox says, hey, how much do I got to pay to get freaking Black Panther, or how much do we got to get pay to get freaking this character? You know what I mean? I think that would be cool. And then PC, whatever. I mean, there's not really a platform user for PC, but I think it would be interesting. It would be better if the platform holders all participated. It's another exclusive thing. PlayStation fans love it. Honestly, to be real with you guys, I'm interested in the Avengers, but I'm not at the same time. I'm not interested enough to where I feel like I would buy this game day one. Spider-Man is not going to make me buy it on the PlayStation 5 if I was to buy it, only because I like Spider-Man, the game PlayStation release. That's like the only Spider-Man outside of the one that came out in 2002 game that I like. So I like Spider-Man in his game. I'm going to pick up Miles Morales because I think it's going to play exactly like the other Spider-Man game, which was a dope game. So I like Spider-Man game. I don't think this Spider-Man's is going to move the needle to play Avengers, because I might not like the Avengers game and how it plays. The way it plays, to me, it looks kind of odd. So to me, it's not that big of a deal, but I know a lot of people. It's one of those announcements that gets people jealous. You want some recognition. You want Xbox to have the Xbox to have like some sort of fight into this, where the game is not exclusive. I don't think Avengers is behind any marketing deal with PlayStation, but you want Xbox to do something about it. But it's Spider-Man, PlayStation. At this point, when I see Spider-Man, I associate Spider-Man with PlayStation. I'm not that big of a Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man movies. I love the game that they released on PlayStation. But putting Spider-Man in a fighting game, putting Spider-Man in the Avengers game is not going to make me buy the game. I'm not that big of a fan. I like Spider-Man games. I don't like Spider-Man as a character to be playable. I mean, he sucks in Marvel vs. Capcom and those other games that they release. It is what it is. But yeah, so that was the other exclusive news. And then PlayStation, one last thing. Remember that rumored state of the play? I tell you, when it comes to PlayStation rumors and like accuracy, the people are like 0 and 10 on PlayStation 5 rumors. So there is going to be a state of the play from PlayStation on August 6th. However, there will be no PlayStation 5 related information outside of some of the games that were shown on the reveal event. So some of the games that were shown on the reveal event may reappear, and the games that will reappear in the state of play are like the indies. The only game I really want to see that was shown that's not owned by PlayStation, that was shown at the PlayStation reveal event is Kenna. That's supposed to be a launch title that have like a nice good gameplay demo. That definitely be a pickup for me day one for the PlayStation 5. I anticipate myself getting 2 games for PlayStation 5 at launch: Spider-Man Miles Morales and Kenna if it's a launch title. Otherwise, if Kenna's not a launch title, it's just going to be Spider-Man, and I'm probably not going to play the PlayStation again until, I don't know, Ratchet and Clank or whatever comes out. I don't plan on buying any multiplats for it. But what do you guys your thoughts on this controller fiasco? Like, did you anticipate? And be honest with yourself when you answer this question. Did you anticipate using your DualShock 4 at all on your PlayStation 5? I'm pretty sure as Xbox guys, we didn't probably anticipate using our regular Xbox controllers for the Xbox Series X, but I'm pretty sure more than half of us intend to use the Elite Series 2 on that bad boy. The only reason why the Xbox, I'll be using the Xbox Series X controller for the most part outside of the Series 2 is because of that share button. These things don't have a typical share button, but there's going to be an update soon that would allow us to map the share button to a button. So if I wanted to use this is my favorite controller so far. If there will be a feature to allow me to probably make the share button this button or a regular button or a paddle or something like that. We'll see. But let me know your thoughts on this news, and what are your thoughts on Sony and PlayStation, and the fact that we're not going to get a PlayStation 5 reveal date or price on August 6th. Let me know in the comment section below. I look forward to reading your comments. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I have a lot of good content there. But I must say it because it stands true. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.